Now, what I want to start off with, so for those latecomers, my name's Toby. I'm here to take you through how to sort of spring you into spring in regards to utilizing ActivePipe, building out campaigns to obviously feed those leads coming through. Now, what I want to sort of start off with is a bit of a recap on last week, just in regards to what experiences we're trying to create for our customers, for our clients. And how that sort of flows through to obviously categorizing your database and feeding through those leads. So obviously we want to make sure that we understand their needs, adapt to their behavior, and also provide a connected experience through both online and offline world as well. We want to make sure that whatever they're experiencing with you, when they meet you at open for inspections or, you know, at auctions, that they get the same experience when they're receiving emails from you as well. So last week was sort of focusing on cleaning and segmenting your database, just in regards to, you know, searching through your contacts within ActivePipe, finding out who doesn't have an email address, and putting in those calls to make sure that you got clean data so that we're reaching out to the most people possible. Tracking interactions and also categorizing people based off those interactions. So we built that general monthly newsletter, which had 4 different articles based on different personas, of which you can then tag people who interact with those emails, those articles, sorry, in regards to that persona as well. Now, if you don't already, please utilize the data discovery surveys that we do. If you don't have them within the platform, please email us at success@activepipe.com and we can have a look at your subscription in regards to what you've got, because that's really crucial in finding out whose preferences have changed over COVID, you know, whose circumstances they may have to liquidate, they may have to upsize, downsize, whatever. So we want to find out where those people lie and then obviously communicate with them in the best way possible as well. Now, obviously you guys are on the phones, obviously building those relationships. So in regards to when you're on the phone trying to collect that data, there's obviously ways that we spoke about in regards to offering value before asking for the email addresses to give them a bit of context and to build that, you know, relationship and that trust as well. Now, what we're going to focus on today is on how to build out a diverse targeted communication plan. So we're going to show you where relevant data lies, and also how you can sort of build out longer trails to enhance that nurture journey of your clients as well. So this is all going to relate to building and working on your pipeline. Obviously, we're focusing on content these days because, as you can see, trust is paramount. You want to be a valuable source of information. You don't want to just be sending out property. That's not really a nurture journey in regards to just you letting them know what's on the market. We want to make sure that you're a trusted source of industry insights, and that you're constantly, you know, informing these people through their journey of what's next, so that they come to you when they're ready for what's next. Now, in regards to obviously that monthly newsletter, you're able to categorize your audience from that, in regards to the interactions. You're able to, you know, identify if someone's an upsizer, if they're a seller, if they're an investor. And by categorizing those people, then it really allows us to build out these journeys and then just target one audience. So you're not sending irrelevant information to your wider pipeline. You're actually making it more targeted so that, again, it builds trust as well. Now, this last point is an interesting one. So you want to make sure that your approach is multi-channel. So not only just through email marketing campaigns, we want to make sure that it's a flow-on effect. So from these email marketing campaigns that you're doing follow-up phone calls, that you're conversing with people in regards to what they're interacting with, because you're obviously informed of that. Then off that, you're sending them personalized reports. And also, you know, if you see that someone's interacting and they're a potential seller, then you might want to give them a call and invite them to an upcoming auction that you have as well. So it's really making sure that you identify where that person lies within your pipeline, and then you keep that follow-up activity consistent with what you're emailing out. Now, in regards to what I mentioned earlier, once you identify and tag potential leads, what are you sending out other than properties to nurture them? Sending out properties is not a nurture journey. You know, it's not telling people of what they could expect or what they should do to obviously move through these stages to the next step. So in regards to obviously identifying what a nurture journey looks like to you, and then finding out who you're going to nurture within your database as well. You don't want to group all these people together. So as you can see here, we've identified for this session, our sellers. Now, each person deserves their own separate campaign. So your sellers can fall under these categories: upsizes, downsizes, and potential sellers. So they're all going to have different, obviously, content and different experiences to draw upon as well. Now, your sellers can be investors, but as you see down the bottom, we're going to be looking at them next week as well. So they're definitely covered. Now, in regards to those potential sellers, what am I going to send to them? You know, what information is going to be relevant to them? So obviously there can be tips and tricks that you can send out. There can be industry insights or industry updates in regards to, it may be the restrictions that are in your area as well. Or it may be, you know, planning changes or anything like that. There may be multiple area reports that you'll do, which you can do through Home Prezo, or you may be able to do it through other sources as well. Just keeping those people informed of, you know, what's happening in their direct area. Now, you want it to be in your own language. So it isn't a sales pitch. So, you know, this is where you're really going to build your brand awareness and build your profile. So make sure that all this content's within your own language as well. You're going to capitalize on those leads with the call to action buttons. So make sure that there's appraisal requests. These are potential sellers. These are upsizes, they're downsizes. They have something to sell. So you want to make sure that you've got something in there that's going to capture that lead when they're at the most, I suppose, highest level of trust with you, because they've just read an article informing them of what they should do. Now, as we said, you don't want to make it all property, but you do want to have some relevant properties in there. So keep some recently sold properties, and also keep some client testimonials within your emails as well, because we do want to obviously build that brand profile and the agent profile as well, and build that trust. Now, in regards to the last one, I've already said that don't lump them all together. Build individual campaigns so that you can track these people appropriately, and you can make sure that they're getting the right information as well. Now, we've also split this up two ways. So we've got one that's going to go out to people to do with spring. And then we've also created an evergreen journey as well. So if it is a longer journey and it's based on people just falling into a category, you want to make sure that the content within the email is appropriate to all markets. So you don't want it to just be around spring. You want it to be around, you know, every part of the year that they could be potentially selling. So I guess, where does that all fit within your marketing pipeline? We touched on last week this, and that was on the awareness. So that was, you know, you're basically building the brand awareness and you're identifying what that person needs. Then you move into the consideration stage. And this is where we educate the client and we basically make sure that they're fully informed in regards to moving through that persona journey to the next step. And that's the conversion stage. So that's the last part of your emails. That's going to be, you know, the request to appraisal, which you can obviously ensure that you're capturing the leads at the best time as well. So how does this all look? Let's jump back into the dashboard and start having a look at the campaigns, how they're set up, what the dynamic's like, and also what content you can have a play around with it as well. So what we've done is we've built out, as I said, two separate journeys. So the first one I've got is the spring upsizer campaign. So that's basically if someone's identifies an upsizer, we're going to send them information to get them ready for spring. Then the second one, you can see I've got the seller campaign. This is a recurring campaign. So that's the one where we want the evergreen communication going out. So it's not sort of time focused. It's just going to nurture anyone who is a seller through that process. So let's jump into the campaign and have a look at how it's built, but also what content lies within there as well. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone with this. So essentially what we're going to do is we're sending this to all our potential sellers. So we're going to select the potential sellers within our choose recipients. Actually, I'm going to change that. So for this, we would actually send to all contacts, but we're going to add a condition. So any contact within our database, if their tag has been changed to a potential seller, what we're going to start doing is we're going to start sending them a series of emails. Okay. So it's not going to send out to everyone within our database. It's only going to send out to people that have been changed to a potential seller. Now, the first email communication that they're going to receive, let's jump into that one to see the content. They're going to receive, a brief introduction from yourself, a captivating subject, which is going to create some interest and obviously create better engagement in regards to your open rate. It's going to be personalized for that client. And it's also going to have that call to action button, which I mentioned before, in regards to capturing those leads. As soon as someone's informed of, what their current journey is, what the next step is, let's get that lead through to you as well. Now, because this is just a general item towards your sellers, we've actually just put in these general points in regards to when is the best time to sell. So you can have these articles, obviously, within your email as a link. But what we also recommend is making it easy for your clients to read this content. You can populate it within the email, so it's easy for them to read through and obviously get the insights in regards to if they were, looking at selling in autumn. Okay, this is what I've got to look out for. Then we've obviously got the content that we feed through from real estate content or from wherever you've selected the article from as well. So obviously we've built in the smart feed, which you can feed those through. If you don't know how to utilize that, I'll show you an article which will help you, but also you can watch our old webinars as well to populate it. But just find something that's general. Obviously this is one where we're focusing on evergreen content. So it's just in regards to how to find a great agent or tips for selling your home. It's nothing to do with, the spring market or what's currently happening in real estate right now. It's just a generalized tips and tricks for the client to engage with. Once we've sent the first one within the campaign, then we set up a delay. So obviously we want to make sure that it's triggered journey, it's soft enough touch point that, they're not going to get annoyed in regards to how frequently we're engaging with them. And we also want it to go to the right people as well. So what we've done is we've delayed it a month for the second communication. And we've also put this little restriction that if they have not clicked on request an appraisal, then they'll receive the follow-up one. So if they've clicked the request an appraisal, they may have come through to your appraisal request and then you tag them as a prospective vendor, and then they'd obviously go on another campaign from there as well. So we want to make sure that they're all going to the right people at the right time. Now, once we've sent out the first one, a month later, if they haven't clicked on request an appraisal, we'll send out email 2. Now, the email 2 is going to look like this. So in regards to another captivating subject line, you can be catchy, put it in your own language again. We've got that call to action button within all our emails. So we're really bumping up that appraisal request through. And this second one, what we're going to do is we're going to include some sold results. Now, what I've done with this one is I've actually made sure that within the defined properties, within this property panel, I've decided to pull through a sold listing. I've made sure that it's only going to be sold within the last 60 days, because what I'm going to do is within the contact section, I'm going to turn on Smart Match. So this is a really creative way to send your clients the most relevant sold property to them. That is obviously going to, build the awareness of what's happening within the area. But what we're doing here is we're not just drawing on their requirements within, their criteria within the CRM, but we're using their behavior with what they're clicking on within your emails. And we're analyzing that and then feeding through both of those sections. So maybe their criteria, maybe their activity, and we're populating the most appropriate profile based on those two things that we'll populate in this email. So it's a really smart way to obviously, have a broad piece of communication going out to all your clients that fit within this category, but making sure that the property that we feed through in regards to the sold property is appropriate to them. So not everyone's going to get the same property. It's going to be based on their criteria or based on their activity within the platform as well. Okay. Now, along with that relevant property that we're sending through relevant insights as well in regards to, is it time to sell? So again, this is, evergreen content. So it's not obviously relevant to the time throughout the year. It's just relevant to the stage that this person's within the selling process. Once we've sent the second, we're basically going to have the same conditions as the first. So we're going to delay it another month. And then we're also going to only send this if they haven't clicked on that link as well. Okay. So then that moves us into the seller 3 email. So again, this is the evergreen content. So again, we've got that request and appraisal. What we've put in regards to this is a brief video, obviously building that brand awareness, building that brand trust. This is a client testimonial. So we can put in a video from here, from YouTube or from Vimeo as well, that your clients can interact with and obviously see what you've been doing for other clients, and obviously have that trust moving forward that if they invited you through their home, they would get the same experience as well. Now, again, the other 2 articles, you know, that stage of thinking whether this is your next move, this is time for your next move. We've obviously got that evergreen content again in regards to that move. Now we've sent out the 3rd, we're going to delay it another month. So this is a whole 4-month process. So you're really nurturing through someone almost half of the year. You're keeping, you know, in touch with that person at the right time, engaging content as well, informative content, obviously build the trust. The last one in line is going to be another one, just sort of seeing where they're at with the current process. So if they were, you know, tagged as a seller, how have they gone with selling? Have they already sold? You know, have they changed their mind and now they might be looking to invest? We give them the opportunity in the last one just to confirm their details. So it's a nice and easy sort of email, just to sort of end the conversation by saying, if you know you need more information, please confirm your details and we can follow you up in the right way as well. So that's the evergreen journey. Once someone's gone through that whole journey, what I would recommend is going into that, campaign report. So once this is all sent, you've seen the interactions, people have gone through the whole campaign of those 4 emails. It's really important to go through the campaign reporting and see who's received those emails, who's engaged as well, who's gotten to the last email, and you know, may not have requested an appraisal. So what do they need to do? This is where it goes back to that multi-channel activity. So this is where your follow-up calls are really going to be important. Okay, I've been sending you some great information about, you know, selling. When's the right time to sell? You know, what were your thoughts? Is this sort of a time where you need to make a move? Or do you need to add that person to another pipeline? You know, you may obviously get to the point where they may be a potential vendor, so then you can put them onto your prospective vendor campaign. Or they may have changed to an investor and you can put them on an investor campaign as well. You can also put them onto your pipeline. So, okay, I've sent this person, you know, 4 months worth of emails. I've touched base with them. I've had a conversation with them at the end of the campaign and they're still not ready to sell. They've let me know that they're looking in 6 to 12 months to 18 months. Okay, I'm going to tag them as that and I'm going to have a nurture campaign based on that as well. So it's really working through that process with the client, seeing where they're at, and obviously, you know, capitalizing on the insights from the emails so that you can make more informed follow-up calls. If they're on a 6-month pipeline, you know that they're a potential seller, you've got them in the 6 months, maybe we send them event invites, maybe we send them, you know, auction reminders to come and see you in action, to come and see some results that you're getting within the area as well. So these campaigns are targeted towards these specific categories, but they also help you further categorize your database as well. No one can fit under that blanket one category. It's not a one size fits all. You really need to sort of be agile in regards to how you move these people through your campaigns. Now that we've capped off on the seller campaign, I just want to revisit the spring campaign. So this is really important for you guys leading into this market. Hopefully for you fellow Victorians, I'm in Victoria at the moment, so hopefully for you fellow Victorians, we'll get out in spring and we'll be able to, you know, list and sell, and we'll see the same insights as what happened in New Zealand, and you guys will have a really great bounce back as well. But for everyone within Australia and New Zealand, it's really important that you utilize these campaigns moving forward in regards to getting people ready to put their property on the market for spring. So for this campaign, I'm just sending out to a targeted list within my database. So within the choose recipients, I haven't sent it to all contacts because I really want to identify who my upsizers are. So you can jump into browse and select whatever tags you've got within here. It might be within Active Pipe, you will have identified upsizers. And also you may have tagged people as an upsizer within your CRM. So it will appear here as well. Now, again, tags can be categories, contact groups, whatever your CRM calls it. We just pull it through as tags. Now, in regards to this campaign, you would actually schedule it ahead of time. So you can either, schedule this immediately once you've built the campaign, or schedule it, to go out maybe this Friday, and then it's going to flow on from there. So the first email that's going to go out within this campaign, we've built a nice and easy email, captivating on the client's first name within the subject, just to sort of, improve that curiosity. If anyone receives an email with their name within the subject, they're going to be curious, they're going to click on it as well. And obviously add in a question to obviously create that curiosity as well. Just make it spring. We put in some nice images as well. You can put in the local area within springtime as well. Make it relevant to whatever content that you're putting within the email. Again, there's always a call to action button. So this one's a request and appraisal. And then down the bottom, we've got obviously that content, which is targeted towards that specific time period. So because we're sending this out during a specific market time, we will actually make that content relevant to the time period. So we'll put in some little spring insights as well. And then we'll put in some articles which will obviously help this upsizer through that journey as well, in regards to content about upgrading, content about selling their home. And then to really support the person, having faith in putting their property on the market, we're going to put through a little suburb report as well. So we can generate this on Home Prezo just by typing in the suburb, selecting the results, or having that automatically flow through as well, so that the client can easily see what's happening within the local area and what they can expect if they were to put their home on the market as well. So again, building that trust between the agent and client relationship, that you're informing them not only of what you're doing, but also what the market's doing as well. If you need help building these emails at all as well, I'll show you where to find that help at the end, and we can go through that if you've got any questions. Now, for this one, because spring is it's tomorrow, so we don't want this journey to go on for too long. So what we've got here is we've just got a delay of 2 weeks. We don't need to bump it out to a month. We just want to converse with our upsizers within that 2-week period. So if within that 2-week period, they did not request an appraisal, we're going to send them the follow-up email of the spring upsizer. Now, the second email, you can either keep it the same format, or you can change the photos, whatever you like. I'd like to keep it the same in regards to a series. They know that this relates to the former email that you got. You can have a request and appraisal. And again, what we've done is we've put in a relevant property to them in regards to a just listed. So to get them confident with what's happened within the market, that people are still listing. For Victoria, you may want to put in just listed. Maybe you might want to open it up into find properties. What I've got here is I've got it listed and current. And in the advanced, I've made sure that it was listed within the last 7 days. Maybe for those in Victoria, you might want to extend it and say, hey, listed within the last, fortnight, or whenever you've got your last listing in, you can make sure that the relevant properties are feeding through. In regards to the contact panel, I've turned Smart Match on again. So again, it's only going to send out the relevant property for that client. So I can send this out to everyone and know that that relevant property is going out to that client. That they're not getting one blanket approach. Now, in regards to these panels, for that sold and also this just listed, I pulled in a featured panel just because one property is enough for that. For sold in spring, I've pulled in a grid and I've just put in whatever's sold in spring. So this may be, just within the last week, what's sold in the lead up to spring as well. But because this is going out in 2 weeks' time, it'll be relevant to spring. Sorry, I'll just capture onto that. Now, in regards to this last one, obviously like that potential seller, the evergreen one that we put out, we put in a client testimonial. So obviously we want to make sure that people are informed of what the market's doing, but we also want to make sure that people are informed of how you perform as well. Now, once we've sent out that second one, we'll pop in another delay and then pop in that obviously restriction on if they haven't requested an appraisal, we're going to send them a final follow-up. So this is a 6-week journey that will take them through to midway through spring. And, you know, I'd like to see a bumper summer as well. So hopefully these people are ready, you know, maybe if not just in spring, they'll come through in summer as well. Again, just some new insights. It might be an offer that you've got. Obviously, we said, you know, you can't sort of expect something if you haven't offered something first. So you might want to put through, you know, something in regards to off-market opportunities, and then just a simple request and appraisal. So, you know, you're sort of finishing off the journey in regards to if they haven't made their decision yet, this is what we can offer. Feel free to request an appraisal. Then if someone goes through this journey, you know, it's a selected targeted audience. So you're not going to have, you know, stacks of people to follow up from. So at the end of the 6 weeks, you're going to have a list of people in the campaign report of who's interacted, who's ended up, you know, requesting an appraisal, and you can do your follow-up calls from that. You know, was there something that stopped you from making a decision this spring? You know, in regards to, you know, how can we help you? Did you see the email? We can do off-market properties. So if you weren't, you know, willing to, you know, put your property on market, we can always, you know, test the waters, utilize active pipe. We can send it out to targeted buyers and find the right person for your property as well. So it's really, you know, just capitalizing on the trust that you've built along the way. They're going to know exactly who you are when they pick up the phone because they've just received, you know, 6 weeks worth of communication from you. The brand awareness is already built. The trust is already built in regards to, you know, I've sent you out some articles that I think are really relevant for you. And they're really going to inform you through that process. So what do you think? And it's going to be a receptive call because they're well informed. They can give you feedback on where they are and how that sort of content, you know, led them through the process and where they are now. So that's pretty much it in regards to those campaigns. I would say one thing to keep in mind, and I cannot stress this enough, have a look at when your other communication is going out. So have a look through your campaigns that you've got already running. They may be reoccurring campaigns, and make sure that you're activating these at a different time. So these are following the communication. So you might have, you know, your weekly listings going out on a Thursday or a Friday. You don't want one of these emails going out on a Thursday or a Friday just because they're receiving two emails at the same time. So when you're setting up the Spring Upsize campaign, make sure that you're scheduling them on a different time. With the seller campaign, those clients will be sent an email whenever their tag's changed. So you don't need to worry about that. Now, I've built those 2 campaigns. You can obviously activate them however you want as well. So let's open it up to some questions. I can see that we've got a couple through here. What happens if you choose a smart match, but there isn't enough data for that contact to have properties matched to that? So basically what it will do is it will pull through just the latest relevant property. So if you've selected, you know, just listed, we don't have their criteria and we don't have behavior from them. What we'll do is we'll just pull through the latest just listed. So it's basically just an announcement of what you're doing if we haven't got, you know, their criteria fed through. Say for, you know, just sold, it'll just be your latest just sold property within the last, you know, 7 days, whatever you've set it to. That's why I always make sure that it's just a feature, just because it will pull through one of whatever's latest. So really you're just informing them of, you know, what's on the market or what's come to market. Joe, where do you find these campaign templates? So these are just ones that were built. Obviously, your campaign should be tailored within your own language. You've already got those automated campaigns that we've got running for you, but this is how you take it to the next level. Obviously, you don't want to be sending out these campaigns just the same as everyone else. So you want to tailor them to your own language. But I can talk to you about building your own campaigns later as well. Frank, what if your competitor has the active technology? So I'm guessing you mean active pipe technology. So again, you want to make sure that these communications is tailored towards your own language, and that the information that we're pulling through is your information anyway. So in regards to the content, in regards to, you know, what should we call it? The sold properties, the just listeds, all that sort of stuff. The only thing that you have to be careful about is the actual content that you're pulling through, real estate articles. The chances of you picking the same articles within 300 articles would be pretty slim in regards to your competitors as well. And obviously, Frank, people are going to be engaging with yours, but ignoring the competitors if they've already built the relationship up with you as well. Now, I've got a couple of questions in regards to having the ability to create campaigns and having the ability to create your own emails. This depends on what subscription you are on with the platform. So if you don't have those abilities, please feel free to email us at success@activepipe.com. We've noted down who's asked that question as well. So we'll be informing you of your options in regards to your subscription, and we can always enable those features moving on as well. Now, in regards to those emails and campaigns, how you find out how to utilize the edit campaign and edit email is within support.activepipe.com, or you can go onto our webinars as well. So success@activepipe.com or support@activepipe.com, sorry, will actually create this search engine where you can search anything within our platform and you'll get an answer. So, you know, in regards to those articles, I put through the real estate content articles. If you don't have them already within your email builder, please feel free to email us and we can talk to you about the subscription because it is an added subscription to have that content built for you. It will feed through to branded web pages, which will host the content. So it looks like you've written the communication up. It helps with your brand awareness, helps with your trust, shows that you're the industry insiders as well. So if you do need to find out how to utilize those, search in here. You can also go to the suggested emails, the suggested articles as well, sorry. So, you know, how do I create an email? How do I, you know, build a campaign as well will be in here. So you can move through your workflow as you go. These webinars are also crucial. So obviously you're engaged with our webinars, you're on this one. So you can go through to the upcoming webinars that we've got going on, but you'll also see the past webinars. And these will have, you know, in regards to sending targeted property emails, how you actually use the property panels within your emails. There's different webinars on different topics, so you can work through them as well. If you just want to join on to our getting started, to see how to build emails, what to see within the dashboard, how to find all this information as well. You can jump onto those webinars and we'll be able to help you through that process. Now I'm going to jump back into the questions, see if anyone's asked anything else. No, it looks like I've answered all of them. If we haven't got into your question, we will always send out any remaining questions within the wrap up, also along with the recording of this webinar as well. So you can view it back at any time. If I have gone too quick for you, you can go back and pause it and work through those as well. You can have a look at those templates and obviously see what communication we put in. Now, Joe, sorry, I really blazed over that, didn't I? The webinars are on activepipe.com. And then on the website, you'll be able to click through to resources. So if I was on the homepage, up the top in our resources, we've got the webinars. So if you're an admin, I'd highly recommend sending these around to your team, getting them involved with ActivePipe and really utilizing the insights. You're obviously going to be sending out these emails, so they need to capitalize on what you're sending out. So definitely, you know, send them around to your agents within the office or admins that need training, and make sure that everyone's utilizing it perfectly. Jim, just in regards to your question around the creating campaign button, so that may not have been within your subscription. So we do have different subscriptions within ActivePipe. So you may be on a basic version, and then we've got obviously the ability to create different journeys and different campaigns as well. So we've noted you down, and I'll be in contact in regards to your subscription and what options you have as well. Now, if there's no other questions, what I might do is I might just leave it there. Again, if you do have any follow-up questions, please email us at success@activepipe.com, and we'll be happy to answer them. And then what we'll do is we'll obviously do a recap next week, and I look forward to taking you through some investor journeys as well, showing you how to bounce back through spring. Really look forward to going through this journey with you guys, and really appreciate any feedback as well. So feel free to write us any messages as well. And yeah, pretty much thank you for your time today, and look forward to seeing you soon.